July 25th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including an attempted murder in Milford, a Darien man allegedly selling alcohol to minors, and much more. Frank Granito back in studio with a look at your forecast and a Nutmeg sports update, and later on, Donald Ang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a 51-year-old Darien man has been charged with 2 felonies for providing an alcohol delivery service for local teens. For the past 2 months, Darien police have been investigating reports of a local man providing illicit substances to minors in and around Darien. Now, police were provided with evidence that the individual was taking orders for alcohol via text message and phone call, procuring it at local establishments, and then delivering it to teens from Darien at a substantial markup over the store cost. Now, through surveillance investigation, police identified that man as Mark Yarish. Multiple complaints linked Yarish to transactions with local youth, and a warrant was put out for his arrest. He was taken into custody at his home on July 21st and charged with felony counts of providing alcohol to minors and risk of injury to a minor. He posted a $40,000 bond on July 23rd and was ordered not to have contact with any minors until his July 31st court date. Now, police are still continuing the investigation into Yarish's activities. And in other news, a Milford man was charged with attempted murder July 22nd after reportedly trying to strangle a woman during a domestic dispute. According to police, at about 7:45 in the morning Saturday, police responded to a Milford home on a report of a threatening with a knife. Now, officers responded to that residence and learned that 27-year-old Patrick Corrali of Colonial Avenue in Milford had gotten into a verbal argument with a woman inside the home and at one point punched her in the face and then began strangling her. Now, the woman told police she almost blacked out before another man in the home heard the commotion and separated the two. Corrali then pulled a pocket knife and threatened the man with it. The man told Corrali to leave, at which point he picked up his 2-year-old child and left to go to another Milford home. Now, officers responded to the residence Corrali had gone to and took him into custody. A family member also responded and took custody of that child. And in other news, a Shelton man was arrested on a warrant for allegedly grabbing his 2 juvenile nephews by the necks. On Wednesday, July 19th, Shelton police responded to a family and children's complaint. Investigating officers learned that 2 alleged juvenile victims returned to their mother's house after spending the weekend at their father's house in Shelton. According to a statement from Detective Chris Nugent, both children reported to their mother that over the weekend their uncle, Robert Oha Jr., 39 years old, who lives with their father, grabbed each of them by the necks. After interviewing several family members and based on the investigation, officers charge Oha with assault and risk of injury to a minor, among other charges. And police say they have reports of multiple injuries in a crash involving a bus and a pickup truck in Connecticut. Now, a Suffield police dispatcher says emergency workers are responding to that crash that occurred at about 5:45 this morning on Route 168 in town. Police posted a picture of a white pickup that appears to have struck a red school bus. That bus was off the road, straddling the guardrail. Police say the bus was carrying tobacco workers, and multiple ambulances responded to the scene. And a jackknifed tractor trailer caused a major traffic headache on Monday, closing all lanes of I-95 northbound yesterday by exit 28. State police shared this photo from the scene. They said there were no injuries involved, but that tractor trailer had a breached fuel tank. About 4 hours after that initial accident, police had all lanes back open. And Milford police say 5 people have been arrested after a woman said she was attacked on a beach. The New Haven Register reports that police were called to Walnut Beach on Saturday on a report of a fight, and they found a woman bleeding from her head. The woman reported being attacked by 3 women and 2 men. Police said they arrested 1 man who ran from the scene and was found hiding in a bush, and 4 other people who were found hiding under and behind vehicles in a nearby parking lot. Now, all 5 were charged with breach of peace and 4 were charged with assault. 1 was also charged with assault on a public safety personnel. They're scheduled to appear in court on August 15th. And 2 teens have been arrested after they allegedly conspired to steal a motorcycle at the Holly Lane Mall in Trumbull July 22nd, then fled in a stolen car. According to police, a Cheshire resident arranged through Craigslist to sell his Honda motorcycle and arranged to meet the buyer at the shopping center. The two suspects arrived with a third male who rode off on the motorcycle. Police have not been able to locate or identify that third suspect, but the remaining two males, both 17 years old, then fled in a 2009 Honda Accord, which was later determined to be stolen from Waterbury. Officers located that vehicle in a local parking lot and soon apprehended the suspects who had fled on foot. Stratford police, aided by several witnesses, assisted in finding and catching those suspects. Now, the Honda motorcycle has not been recovered and it's valued at $3,000. The teens have been charged with third-degree larceny and sixth-degree larceny and were both referred to juvenile court in Bridgeport. But let's take a turn now, throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank, it's been a while since I've said that.
A little too long for us to park here in the studio, but we're looking at another cool day, Kate. Plenty of cloud cover out there, and as we mentioned, cooler again. Temperatures sitting in the low 70s for most of the day, a high of only 73. Mostly cloudy skies will carry on through the afternoon and into this evening as temperatures begin to drop to the mid-60s before an overcast night around Fairfield County with a low of 61 before Wednesday morning. Spots of sunshine will return for the midweek as early morning cloud cover makes way for partly sunny skies tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures starting to warm back up as well, reaching into the mid-80s tomorrow before increasing cloud cover we'll see tomorrow evening and overnight. There will be a low of 67 heading into Thursday. And a lot of the same on Thursday with temperatures in the mid to low 80s, continuing to warm up with on and off periods of sunshine and clouds. Humidity is going to start to increase later in the day, and you're going to see cloud cover increasing as well before overnight showers and thunderstorms that have a chance to carry into Friday, but we will have more on that as we keep an eye on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday later on in the week. That'll do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Frank's going to be telling you about all the action coming up live on the HAN network later today. Donald Eng will also take a look back on this day in history, and there's more local news after this.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance event. Going on now through July 31st.
At Pure Barre Ridgefield, our tried and true method can shape every body and fit any schedule. Pure Barre is a total body workout using the ballet bar to perform small isometric movements which burn fat, sculpt muscles, and create long, lean physiques. Sweat away the day and get lost in the music. Pure Barre Ridgefield, located at 86 Danbury Road. Like us on Facebook at Pure Barre Ridgefield.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this July 25th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN network. Time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, a couple of travel-related incidents to look back on this day, but first we're going to go all the way back to 1603. Queen Elizabeth I of England dies, and James VI of Scotland, the son of Elizabeth's sister Mary, Queen of Scots, becomes King of England. Now he takes the name James I. So the same man is James VI and James I, and ironically, he was James VI first. As a ruler, he was a terrible one, continuing a centuries-long tradition of religious persecution in Britain, but I just find it odd that you're James VI, then you become James I after being James VI. To 1956, 45 miles south of Nantucket, the Italian ocean liner Andrea Doria collides with the Swedish ship MS Stockholm, and it sinks the next day. It is currently resting on its side in about 250 feet of water. The Doria is actually more dangerous since sinking than it was during the sinking. 16 divers have lost their lives exploring the wreck, the most recent one in 2015. More transportation news. 2000, the Concorde Air France Flight 4590 crashes at Charles de Gaulle Airport, the beginning of the end for the supersonic airliner. Concorde had always been a money loser, but it was kept in service as a point of national pride for England and France. The planes would be retired in 2003. Finally, now we go to 1978. We normally don't do birthdays, but this is the 39th, so check this out from England.
I didn't really feel special. They just told me that obviously they couldn't have children and that Miss Patrick's stepdaughter and Bob Edwards helped them, and that was it really, and that I was born in a normal way, but it was just the first bit.
A media-shy girl who seems a little bemused by all the attention and in her words is content to just plod along.
My 21st I had a party, but they phoned up and they actually thought, all the press thought I was up in Blackpool for the weekend, so I got away with that one quite well.
Louise's birth began a revolution in fertility treatment, initially securing a 3 to 6% chance of success. Today, 1 in 4 women can be...
And that was Louise Joy Brown, the first person ever born after being conceived in vitro. Though the press referred to her as a test tube baby, actually more accurate to call her a petri dish baby, but that doesn't sound as good. The doctor who performed the procedure, Robert Edwards, has been awarded the Nobel Prize for Medicine. That is your look back in history for today, July 25th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, New Canaan First Selectman Rob Malazzi announced Monday that he will not be seeking a primary against Kevin Moynihan, who won the endorsement of New Canaan Republicans by a slim 10-vote margin at the caucus on July 18th. Now, that decision comes 6 days after the Republican caucus, with Moynihan getting 612 votes, Malazzi 602 votes, and Christina Aguirre-Ross 60 votes. And it comes 3 days after the New Canaan Republican Town Committee denied Malazzi's request for a recount of those caucus votes. Now, in a statement, Malazzi wrote, "I will not be seeking a primary for the Republican endorsement. I'm presently hard at work doing the town's business and also working on my future plans." He went on to say, "I know a primary was forthcoming had I won on Tuesday. However, I could never subject my family and our community to any more of the negative rhetoric and disharmony and a protracted election season could bring had I followed that path set by other candidates." Now, there's a lot more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And we're getting ready for our live coverage of the 14U Babe Ruth New England Regional Tournament, which will take place this afternoon starting at 4 o'clock with our first semifinal game and the second game set to start at 7 p.m. But due to weather yesterday, all of the quarterfinal games were postponed and are being played today as they have condensed the schedule into a doubleheader format. So right now underway at Trumbull High Varsity Field, you have Brattleboro, Vermont taking on Trumbull, Connecticut. Keene, New Hampshire is playing against Waterford, Connecticut. Those games will wrap up shortly, and then later on today, North Providence will play Hingham Hull, Massachusetts, and Pittsfield, Massachusetts will play against Augusta, Maine. Those games both scheduled for 1 o'clock. We'll have full results and even a little bit of a preview of the second semifinal games later on today, live at 2 o'clock. Kevin Coleman and I have got a special Nutmeg Sports for you from Trumbull High School, again in the semifinals, game number 1 at 4 p.m. That'll be the winner of game 1 versus the winner of game 2. And the semifinal at 7 p.m., the winner of game 3 and game 4. And we're back again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the championship at Trumbull High School. That'll do it for this, that's Nutmeg Sports Update. I'm a little rusty here.
You're a little rusty.
We'll be back for Nutmeg Sports at 2. Let's go back over to Kate for now.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, thousands of people have responded to the emergency call for blood and platelet donations issued by the American Red Cross in early July, but there continues to be a critical summer blood shortage. Eligible donors of all types are urgently needed. Now, after issuing the emergency call, the Red Cross has experienced a 30% increase in blood donation appointments through mid-July. About half of the appointments were scheduled by donors using the free blood donor app or at redcrossblood.org. Now, despite this improvement, blood products are still being distributed to hospitals as fast as donations are coming in, so more donations are needed to meet patient needs and replenish the supply. Now, nearly 61,000 fewer blood donations than needed were given through the Red Cross in May and June, prompting the emergency call for donations in early July. That shortfall was equivalent of the Red Cross not receiving any blood donations for more than 4 days. Now, to schedule an appointment to donate, use the Blood Donor app or visit redcrossblood.org, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. And the Darien Human Services Department will be holding its annual back-to-school supplies drive beginning this week. Now, the back-to-school program helps eligible Darien school children get off to a good start with backpacks, school supplies, and gift certificates for shoes or sneakers. The Department of Human Services works directly with Darien schools to determine what supplies are required for each grade so that every student begins the year with appropriate supplies. Now, last year, the back-to-school program served 130 Darien school children, and that number is expected to increase this year. As most parents know, the cost of back-to-school supplies increases each year and can be a burden on families that are already struggling, particularly those with multiple school-age children. Now, if you're interested in contributing to this or any of the programs, you can get more information at DarienTimes.com. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top news stories we're following today after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance event. Going on now through July 31st.
Celebrate summer with fresh made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top news stories we're following today. A 51-year-old Darien man has been charged with 2 felonies for providing an alcohol delivery service for local teens. Now, for the past 2 months, Darien police have been investigating reports of a local man providing illicit substances to minors in and around town. Police were provided with evidence that the individual was taking orders for alcohol via text message and phone call, procuring it at local establishments, and then delivering it to teens from Darien at a substantial markup over the store cost. Now, through surveillance and investigation, police identified that man as Mark Yarish. Multiple complaints linked Yarish to transactions with local youth, and a warrant was put out for his arrest. He was taken into custody at his home on July 21st and charged with felony counts of providing alcohol to minors and risk of injury to a minor. He posted a $40,000 bond on July 23rd and was ordered not to have contact with any minors until his July 31st court date. Police say they're continuing the investigation into Yarish's activities. And a Milford man was charged with attempted murder July 22nd after reportedly trying to strangle a woman during a domestic dispute. According to police, at about 7:45 in the morning Saturday, police responded to a Milford home on a report of threatening with a knife. No officers responded to the home and learned that 27-year-old Patrick Corrali of Colonial Avenue in Milford had gotten into a verbal argument with a woman inside the home and at one point punched her in the face and then began strangling her. The woman told police she almost blacked out before another man in the home heard the commotion and separated the two. Corrali then pulled a pocket knife and threatened the man with it. The man told Corrali to leave, at which point he picked up his 2-year-old child and left to go to another Milford residence. Officers responded to that residence where Corrali had gone and took him into custody. A family member also responded and took custody of the child. And a Shelton man was arrested on a warrant for allegedly grabbing his 2 juvenile nephews by the necks. On Wednesday, July 29th, Shelton police responded to a family and children complaint, and investigating officers learned that 2 alleged victims returned to their mother's house after spending the weekend at their father's house in Shelton. According to a statement from Detective Chris Nugent, both children reported to their mother that over the weekend, their uncle, Robert Ohat Jr., 39 years old, who lives with their father, grabbed each of them by their necks. After interviewing several family members and based on the investigation, officers charged Oha with assault and risk of injury to a minor, among other charges. And police say they have reports of multiple injuries in a crash involving a bus and a pickup truck in Connecticut. A Suffield police dispatcher says emergency workers are responding to the crash that occurred at about 5:45 in the morning Tuesday on Route 168 in town. Police posted a picture of a white pickup that appears to have struck a red school bus. That bus was off the road, straddling the guardrail, and police say the bus was carrying tobacco workers, and multiple ambulances responded to the scene. And a jackknifed tractor trailer caused a major traffic headache on Monday, closing all lanes of I-95 northbound by exit 28. State police shared this photo from the scene yesterday. They said there were no injuries involved, but that the tractor trailer did have a breached fuel tank. About 4 hours after the initial accident, police had all lanes back open. And Milford police say 5 people have been arrested after a woman said she was attacked on a beach. The New Haven Register reports that police were called to Walnut Beach on Saturday on a report of a fight, and they found a woman bleeding from her head. That woman reported being attacked by 3 women and 2 men. Police say they arrested 1 man who ran from the scene and was found hiding in a bush, and 4 other people who were found hiding under and behind vehicles in a nearby parking lot. All 5 were charged with breach of peace and 4 were charged with assault. 1 was also charged with assault on a public safety personnel. They are scheduled to appear in court on August 15th. But let's take one final look at the forecast with Frank Granito. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, plenty of cloud cover out today. Cooler as well. Temperatures just reaching into the low 70s, a high of only 73 expected. Mostly cloudy skies will carry on through the afternoon and into this evening as temperatures begin to drop down into the mid-60s before an overcast night around Fairfield County with a low of 61. Wednesday, we'll see spots of sunshine returning as there could be some early morning cloud cover making way for partly sunny skies in the afternoon. Temperatures starting to warm back up as well, reaching into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. We're going to see increasing cloud cover again tomorrow evening and overnight with a low of 67 heading towards Thursday. And a lot of the same for the first half of the day on Thursday with temperatures continuing to warm up on and off periods of sun and clouds. Humidity will start to increase in the later parts of the day along with cloud cover, which could lead to some overnight showers and thunderstorms, but we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer to Friday and this weekend. That's going to do it for the weather. We'll see you this afternoon, 2 o'clock, live at Trumbull for Nutmeg Sports. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, a lot of excitement going on the HAN network today, so stay tuned. But we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.